uh, I need a second because I'm really new to this streaming stuff. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out how to stream this. Okay, it worked. Woohoo! I was trying to figure out how to stream this to YouTube, and I've never done that before. I'm not a streamer. I'm a coach, so but I think it's working. Can someone please go to this URL and tell me, like, can you see this okay? Or
Yeah,
seriously, everything is working? Nice.
yeah, working fine.
Awesome. Yeah, I wanted to do this. So again, I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to do this because last time I did like a live stream and it was like directly to YouTube, and it was just like me talking to myself for an hour, and then people were chatting on YouTube. They were like posting comments, and there was like such a massive delay that it didn't feel like a conversation. So this time I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this on Zoom and figure out a way to stream. So happy to know that it's working. Hey, Karis, welcome. Vandy's here. Nice. Welcome, welcome. Muhammad is here. Faiz, Karis. Just the five of us. And yeah, I mean, this is not a webinar, y'all. So, I mean, this is mostly about me just trying to build something and just trying to show how I think about stuff. But that being said, we will. I like chatting. I like the interactive. Like Vandy knows this because Vandy was on the cohort. Like I'm a yapper and I like back and forth stuff. And it's annoying to me to just like be talking to myself. So what we will do is I'll open up like Windows at some point. I'll just say like unmute yourself or we can chat while Claude is working. So we'll see how this goes. But for now, I'm going to jump into what the plan is for today. All right. So today's assignment, I'll just preface this for a second. And for the people like who've probably never been on here and maybe just watching the intro, this series is it's my way of saying to people that, hey, actually building real workflows is hard. The process is messy, and contrary to what people on LinkedIn like to say, it's not easy to, like, what they show you is like the polished end product, and the middle is never easy, and it's messy and it's frustrating, and to try and get something from your head into an actual product or tool or website or something is painful, and it's I just want to show the real process that happens. And to anyone who's built using Claude Code or Codex or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. And I just want to show people that you're not alone, and there are no leaders, there's no gurus, there's no authorities. Everyone is trying to figure this out on the fly, just like the rest of us. It's okay to make mistakes, but also really, really good and important to be open and honest about your journey, because that will just make people um, feel less alone in this world. So that's what this Build in Public project is about, to show you that there are no gurus and everyone is kind of on the same level as you. And if I can do it, then everyone can. So no more ado, like no more further ado. We are going to jump into what the plan is for today. So the last time we did a landing page, a portfolio website from a LinkedIn PDF. And then now the second one, there's a reason why these projects have been organized this way. It's because I've been collating information like a maniac for almost like 6 to 8 months now. So I'm always asking people, hey, what do you want to build with Cloud Code? Like, what's your dream project? What would you like to see Cloud Code do? What do you want to learn? And then all of these project ideas are from actual business pains and from voices of the people who want to learn. So the most one of the most common things that comes up is like, hey, I have like CSVs of, I have like spreadsheets of messy data, and I really want to learn how to clean data, whether it's in my CRM or on my computer, but I don't know how to do it because I never learned data engineering. I never learned data analysis. I can't write like whatever big, what is it called? I'm not even sure what it's called, like big data SQL queries or whatever it is, like um, Power Objects or BI, SQL. I don't know, whatever it is. But I know that previously to do this kind of stuff, you did need a degree, you needed extensive programming language and understanding of everything. But now, with agentic AI on your side, you get to be able to do this by yourself. So, what's unique about all of us, at least on this call or people watching this, is like we have our deep domain expertise. Like we have been in our industry for a while, we understand business problems, and we have these incredible business skills, which we were always blocked with, like trying to translate that into um, actual stuff. But now we don't have to do that anymore because we have Claude and Codex, everything on our side. So for today, we are going to do this CSV cleanup project. So let me preface this and explain what we're doing. So this is based on a real project that I've seen before. And essentially, yeah, one of our students, um, he was doing this one, but of course, like I can't show you the actual company data. So I've recreated that. But essentially, um, in that student's business, they used to get like these daily spreadsheets from like a de-anonymization software. So essentially, like think of it this way. They had a B2B business, they had a website. People used to visit the website and they were selling like a very specific B2B product. So if someone's on their website, then you know that like they're interested in the product or service. So it's a very high intent signal for them. And they wanted, so there are softwares out there like Vector, RB2B. There's a couple of ones that will kind of like see who's on your website and it will de-anonymize them. So it can actually match you, like if you're on someone's website, so it can actually match you with your LinkedIn profile. And then it can give you like a notification like, hey, Karis is on your website right now. And this is Karis's LinkedIn profile, or Faiz is here. And then you can see like, oh, okay. So that means that Faiz is probably interested in my product or service. So the problem was that from this de-anonymization software, they were getting back like these crazy messy spreadsheets like this. Oops, I'm incompetent at Microsoft Excel. But yeah, so they used to get back like these messy spreadsheets with messed up looking data, like, oh, okay, these people are visiting, but they have like messed up names. The LinkedIn profiles were kind of broken, etc. So what their sales team wanted was like, hey, we don't want to like go through and parse like thousands of lines of data. Ultimately, we just want all of this inside our HubSpot. Um, like I just want to see who went to the website yesterday or like in the last 24 hours, who was it, what's their LinkedIn profile, and then finally, what company do they work for, and then finally, what pages did they visit. Oh, they visited the pricing page. Interesting. Oh, they were checking out our case studies. Interesting. They were checking out how do we compare to competitors. Okay, okay, okay. So all of that lets the sales team form a thesis and let them do the it lets them do their job, sell better. But of course the sales reps could not make sense of this data. So that's what we're going to be working with today. So the big goal for today is to take this messy spreadsheet and fix it in such a way that we can have all these people pushed into HubSpot with essentially like just like a brief summary of like what did they, what pages were they on, and what were they interested in. I'll pause for a second because we have some people on the call. Any questions about this so far? Cool. So I've never done this one. This is just a dummy CSV that I asked Claude Code to generate. I've actually never cleaned this before, and I bet we are going to run into issues for sure. So let's see. I mean, I'm not expecting it to go smoothly, but it should be fine. All right. Now, first of all, we'll do this the exact same way that we're going to do every single project on this. So we're never going to like just jump into Claude and say, "Hey, clean this spreadsheet." No, that's how you get slop. That's how you get like hallucinations and really horrible output. You can't just go to Claude and say, "Hey, Claude, build me a website for me." Again, it will create something that you don't want because it's going to end up making a bunch of assumptions, hallucinations. So, our job as GTM engineers and AI builders is to spend like a ridiculous amount of time on making Claude understand what it is that we want to do first before we start building anything or before we start cleaning anything or touching a single file. And the objective is to get everything into your brain out into Claude's window so that Claude understands what exactly you need shipped. So we're not even going to be touching Claude for a little bit of time right now. Right now, I just want to be thinking about this. Okay, so we've got this CSV. I know where it came from. It came from wherever, Vector or our B2B. What's the end goal? I want to get this into HubSpot. And I want this basically to go into HubSpot with all of their stuff and enrich so that sales can send them an email or their phone number or whatever. Okay, so I need to first understand like, okay, how do I upload data into HubSpot? Like when I'm uploading stuff into HubSpot, what does HubSpot expect from me, right? So let's actually check it out. Because I know that HubSpot import format. I'm going to Google it because I literally don't know. But if it's like any other CRM, I know that they need at least like one unique identifier, like something unique. Let's see what they have. Okay, it doesn't show over here. Maybe on there. Maybe it's inside HubSpot actually. Let's see. I've worked with a couple of CRMs, but at least I know for a fact, like when you want to import stuff into a CRM, you at least need like a name, you need like a email or something. So let's see what HubSpot expects. So let's go and import. Um, import a file. Yeah, probably this way. Okay, so they have a sample template. That's interesting. So first name, last name, and email address, phone number, city, etc. Okay. So now for sure, I don't have the stuff about them. I have their first name, their last name. I don't have any emails. So that means that I have to enrich this spreadsheet at some point. Okay. That makes sense. But I do have the other stuff. That means that if I'm enriching this spreadsheet right now, like let's say how many rows do we have over here? We have 643. That means I'll probably end up spending 643 credits on enriching this. I don't want to do that, especially given the fact that this is like this is not clean. This is not clean enough. We never enrich dirty data. Like enrichment should be the very, very last step of data cleanup because enrichment actually costs money. Data cleanup is kind of free because you can use like scripts or something else. But when you enrich, you're actually spending money. And I can see like there's some repeats over here. Now, the unique thing about RB2B or vector is that when you see here, this is the problem. So every time, like let's say Tyler Acosta visits our website, every single time he visits, it actually has like a new record for him. So let's see how many times, like, let's see if they are repeating over here. So Tyler is here, Tyler Acosta here again, Tyler Acosta again over here. But it has different, like, it has separate rows for him because he's going to different pages um, at different points of time. Again, he's here. So how do we do this? Like, I know this for sure. Like, if I push this directly into HubSpot right now, it would create like a bunch of duplicate contacts for Tyler. So at least for sure, I know that we have to kind of consolidate this. And sales doesn't want like 50 different records for Tyler Acosta. They want like one clean record that says, hey, Tyler Acosta from from this company, Brightline Foods, visited like blah 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 websites. Okay, that's what we want. So that's definitely one of the big problems that I see over here. There's some other stuff like their names are broken. This is not good. Some LinkedIn profiles are empty. This is the huge problem here. I think like one of the big problems with this CSV is that without a LinkedIn profile, I can't enrich them. It doesn't like literally all of our enrichment and data tools are built on LinkedIn profiles. So for me, if this doesn't have a LinkedIn profile, this is kind of useless for me. So yeah, we can see like there's a bunch of there are a bunch of issues over here. So what do we do? I'm not a data engineer. Like I'm not a Python or whatever. I don't have a background in data analysis. So the best thing I could do was like to prep for this call. I just taught myself like one of the most trusted frameworks for cleaning data, which is the clean. This is called the clean framework. And I'll give credit to there was like a really nice video from Christine Jiang, and you can watch that. So Christine, if I can spell her name, Jiang, data cleaning. So of course I had to understand this video, but also the best part is that I can teach. Hang on, I don't want to. Yeah, sorry about that. So whatever skills that I don't have, I can teach Claude Code, and that's the point. So even if Claude Code is not a data engineer or like a data analyst by design, that's fine. We can teach it the skills. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be teaching Claude Code this framework for cleaning data, which is I'll just walk you through it for a second, and then let's move on to Claude. So conceptualizing the data, which is exactly what we just did. So we took a visual look at the data and then also an overall view of like, okay, where did this data come from? Where is it going? And what should the format be? So that's conceptualization. The second one is locating solvable issues. So in this sheet, there are a lot of like solvable issues. So for example, even though I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to trust that Claude can go and remove all these random rocket emojis, this weird thing like open to work sort of thing. I bet it can do that. And then for the LinkedIn URLs, which is like one of the most important bits of data, I can't get their work email without LinkedIn, but even this is kind of broken. So over here, I see like linked HTTP linkedin.com. Great. But over here now it's just linkedin.com. And then it has like this question mark, something, something. So we need to kind of normalize this as well. So this is solvable, very, very solvable. Evaluating unsolvable issues. Okay. Now, for me, if they don't have a LinkedIn profile, it's unsolvable. Like I don't want to be going and trying and to reverse engineer this and like figure out, okay, Sean Mueller, who does he work for? Let's get his LinkedIn. That's not the scope of this job. My job is to simply go and clean this data and push it to HubSpot so that sales can have a good understanding. So for me, I'm choosing that if the LinkedIn profile is blank, I can't solve this. I can't fix this. So that's my rule for today. That will be the unsolvable issue for this data. Augmentation and improvement. Now, this obviously assumes like we are going to be doing multiple passes at this. If you're a data engineer or data analyst, of course, like you want to be doing like several passes. We're probably not going to be doing this on this call because this is like a one and done job rather than like a continuous job. So for now, we'll skip this one. And then finally, we are going to note and document every bit of like every step that we do for data cleaning. We are going to do that um, so that we know like, hey, what did we touch, what did we change, so that we can also have like a sanity check. So couple of important things I want to mention over here before we start. It's the fact like we are keeping ourselves ruthlessly focused on the end destination, which is HubSpot. So I just want to be compliant with HubSpot's import process. So if it's clean enough to go into HubSpot, then my job is done. And then I'm going to assume that Claude is a better data engineer than me. So I don't want to be bogged down in the technical nitty gritties of like, hey, what sort of scripts do I write to do this? No, we'll leave that to Claude. And then the important thing over here to mention is that we've got this file over here in my folder. So whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna try and not touch this file. Like this is our untouchable data. So like I don't want to make the mistake of working on this file and overriding the data. Like because if I lose this, I'm screwed. So I'll need to tell Claude like, hey, don't work directly on this file and just like create backups or something. Yeah. So I mean, with that being said, I know that that was a lot of planning, but I think now that I have like a clear picture in my brain about what needs to be done, now finally I can give myself permission to go and talk to Claude and start the process of like planning to clean this file. For now, because we are lucky that it's only like five of us on this call, I'm happy to answer any questions whatsoever. Please like unmute yourself. Let me know if you have questions or anything because y'all came to my stream on Zoom and I'm really grateful to you. So please, like, I'll open up some questions if you want.
Yes, then I have one question. So this framework would work for any sort of data, right? Like, let's say I want to enrich data which already sits in my CRM, right?
Mhm.
Because it's not like we have just started. So often, after a while, your CRM data is also not sort of believable, right? So can I do like export, and can I also play around with data that already exist?
100%, Randy, 100%. And that's actually like, it's very common practice as well in organizations to basically take like an entire export of their CRM and kind of like fix it first and then do like a re-upload or like update contacts as well. And they also do it through software like Clay. You can also do it directly through APIs. But the key philosophy here, Randy, about like how do you approach data cleaning and
Yes.
the concepts behind it, it will be the same. Like no matter what, just understand the big goals first, understand the issues with the data like as a human being first. Like don't let Claude, like don't outsource your thinking to Claude and say like, hey, go and clean this. Like you still need to, like you are ultimately, you're the business owner, like you are the owner of the outcomes of this project. So you also have to use your business mindset to think like, okay, what's wrong with this data? Why can't it just go like, what is the big issue? So get stakeholders to let you know, like, hey, what's wrong with this data? Spend a lot of time planning it out and then going through this framework and doing it again and again. So figuring out the issues, finding out how do we like which ones are solvable, which ones are not solvable, which ones can be improved by plugging into external systems. Like for example, let's say like your HubSpot data, one of the, let's say your sales team is complaining, hey Vandy, we keep calling these people and we say something to them and they're like, oh, I left that job months ago. Oh, okay. So technically my spreadsheet was clean because it says like they are director of RevOps at whatever at Brightline Foods. So the data is not corrupt here. The problem is that the data is stale. But still, it can actually be covered under this, but it will be solved through this step, which is augmenting and improving the data. So essentially, our problem statement becomes, okay, now go and use like an enrichment tool to go and find out where does Tyler work right now? Does he still have the same job? Does he still have the same title? And then use a outside source to improve this data. So that becomes part A. And then finally, note and document. Does that answer your question, Wendy?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Anyone else with questions before we move on to getting Claude involved in this? Faiz, Karis, anyone else who might be watching along?
Yeah, I think I don't have question, but the approach I really liked. I used Claudes to not just enrich the data, but I e- based on the domains, I actually find out their email ID as well, and
Nice.
it's actually like one step ahead. But this I think process is very unique for me because it saves a lot of tokens. At the same times, it will definitely help in terms of output quality.
For sure. Yeah, I'm happy that you had that realization as well, Faiz. Like for me, I have to teach people like the biggest differentiator between people who are casual users of ChatGPT, Claude, etc., versus people who are like top 1%, and they are building amazing systems is that we are teaching something called systems engineering. So before we actually do anything, even though we're not software developers, but we can absolutely think of ourselves as systems designers, systems engineers. So when we know how a system works in our mind first, and then we can actually explain to Claude about what needs to be done, that will set you apart from everyone else who is just going to Claude and saying, hey, Claude, build me this system, make no mistakes, or something silly like that, right? So if there are no more questions, let me just check YouTube, like if there are any comments, but I don't think so. Oh, wait, what? I'm on the wrong video. Sorry about that. Just want to make sure there's no YouTube comments that I've missed. It's just kind of strange. No. All good. We go now. All right. So let's fire up Claude. All right. So let's start my 5 question framework, which is it's always how I start my Claude. I ask Claude to ask me 5 questions that so that it completely understands what I want built, and then and only then do we start. So let's give it an initial prompt. Claude, in this project, there is a CSV file, and my job as a GTM engineer is to clean this file and get this ready for to import into HubSpot. Just to let you know, we are not going to be cleaning this right now. I want to spend a lot of time planning and making sure that you understand what we're going to be building today before we even touch a single record inside that CSV. So why don't you analyze this CSV first and then go ahead and ask me 5 questions about this data cleanup job so that you understand what it is that we're looking to accomplish today. So it looks like Claude is already like in problem solving mode. Like that's one of the things about Claude is like it's such an engineer. It feels weird to be saying that about an AI, but like it does seem like sometimes it has a personality. So before, you know, I told it like ask me questions before you do anything else, but it's already gone off like thinking like a real engineer, and it's gone and looked at the file. It's already finding issues with the file, which is good, by the way. Like I like that. But yeah, it is a little bit very, very eager. Yep, that's correct. It is a website visitor de-anonymization export. That is correct. It knows that there are 642 data rows, but 400 unique people. That's correct. It knows that the duplicates are actually the same person visiting multiple pages at different times. So good. So it already understands this. Like, wow, this new Opus model is really, really good. I like it. And then data quality issues, it found like there's some spaces. That's really good. Uh, Casing issues. Okay, cool. Missing names. LinkedIn URL chaos. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because some of these are weird. Like some of them have question marks, etc. Okay. Future dated visits. I don't really care about that. Clean fields. That's fine. All right. So now it's asking me 5 questions. Yeah, good questions. Very good questions. Let's answer them one by one. So let's first explain to Claude like why there are multiple rows showing up. Okay, so here is what the plan is. And I need you to make sure that we plan first before we do anything else. So we are right now very much in planning mode. So you're correct. This data has actually been sourced from a website de-anonymization software. And the key issue over here that we're trying to solve is that sales is asking for basically they want all of this data to go into HubSpot, but they don't want to see multiple people, like they don't want duplicates created. They just want a clean view of, let's say, like the first person who is here. Um, so they want something like Tyler Acosta. His HubSpot profile should just kind of show his company where he works, like where he works for, and then all the pages that he's visited in like one clean note, so that when they're calling him or emailing him, they have a very clear idea of how of basically his degree of interest. So our job as the data cleaning team is we have to go and consolidate everyone's unique visits into one tight row that has an aggregate of like all of the pages that they visited. And then we can just call it like notes or something. So if your calculation is correct, then this should basically collapse down to unique people. And yeah, of course, you know that we can't be creating duplicates inside of HubSpot. So it's very important that we collapse this down. Now, the second thing that you're asking is the missing emails problem. You're correct. Right now, we haven't enriched this, but also I don't want to be wasting enrichment credits on a dirty CSV file. So my intention is that we clean this file first and we get like our final list of people, and then we run the enrichment for work emails. Now, this is really important for you to understand. We absolutely need the LinkedIn URL of a person to enrich them. Without the LinkedIn URL, we cannot enrich them. So we need to ruthlessly discard rows that don't have the LinkedIn URL. So This is really important. Right now, for question number 3, which records make the cut? You should keep all 400 people. Like the job, it's not your job to be filtering down to ICP. That's the sales team's job. Our job is to just get the data in there. Question number 4 about HubSpot field mapping. Don't worry about this because I'm going to be manually importing this into HubSpot. So you don't have to worry about the field mapping. I will do that manually. And number 5, we want to definitely fix the title case for sure. Like, as you said, like I want to fix the name white space. I want to fix the name casing. Definitely want to fix the LinkedIn URL chaos for sure. And yeah, for the future dated timestamps, leave them for now. Y'all, I'm just thinking, this is, I mean, I've given it enough context, but I've given it enough context right now, but I still want to chat with it a little bit more. I'll speak to Sir. Do not build anything just yet. Do not build. Just let me know if you've understood my answers. We are still in planning mode. Whew, that's a big prompt. But y'all, you have to get used to this. Like, there's no other way to do this. Like, you have to get used to talking to Claude like a coworker, like an engineer on your team. Um, this is the best way, like instead of typing, because typing requires thinking. You have to think first in your mind, then you have to type, you have to edit, you have to fix typos, etc. Just use whisper flow, just use monologue or whatever it is. Just speak out loud, put what's in your brain out into Claude. Okay, now let me just read this through. Okay, this is good. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's fine. The one conflict. So it says I need to resolve a conflict here. I said keep all 400 people and ruthlessly discard rows without a LinkedIn URL. Those two collide. Yeah, good catch. I don't want people without a LinkedIn URL. Like they are useless for me. So I will clarify that. So 364 have it. 36 have no LinkedIn URL. Okay, that's good. That's fine. All right. Yeah, sorry. Let me clarify what I mean. Records without LinkedIn profiles are useless to me. So yeah, we can discard the no LinkedIn records. So that's very clear. Now, another thing that's really important, like as we're doing the data cleanup, I would like you to definitely don't touch this main file, like this main file. Like I don't want you to be modifying this. So please, like if you need to, just create a backup or something and just make sure that the data is not lost. I don't, in no circumstances, I want you to be overriding data on this main file. So this is really important. The second thing that I want you to keep in mind is pause here, pause here. For y'all who are listening, please understand Christina's last framework step, which is noting and documenting. Like right now, it's probably very easy for me to tell Claude, like, hey, go and fix it. And then Claude will fix it. But how do I know what got fixed? How do I know what did Claude do? So I'm going to tell it to note and document everything. And then also I want to tell it like, hey, obviously you can't, there are some unsolvable issues here. So why don't you also create a separate file for the ones that you could not clean and tell me why. Like, let us know the reason why you could not clean it. So all of these things is just going to make our output really, really good. So I'm going to tell Claude that right now. Claude, I'm actually going to give you a framework for data cleaning that I really like, and I think it's really comprehensive. It's called the Clean Data Cleaning Framework. I will paste it in later, but I want you to be thinking about this job from that framework's point of view. So it's going to be really important for you to be going and noting and documenting all of the uh, data cleaning steps that you're doing so that I can actually have an audit report of the data that you've cleaned. So, and then also, if you're unable to fix data records, then please, write another file. Just call it like flag.csv or something so I can see the records that you were not able to clean. So I can manually review them or some other teammate can review them. And as I promised, here's the framework for you. And I will just paste the framework. I already have it over here. It should be simple to just copy and paste. I'll paste this as well on Slack, sorry, on Zoom, in case it's helpful to people. Oh, of course not. It's too big. Sorry. I'll post it somewhere else, maybe in the YouTube description later. Woo! 45 minutes of this call, as you can see, are just planning. And I know like this is like not the sexy part. Like I totally understand. Like this is not what gets famous or viral on LinkedIn. Like no one sees the hard work. No one sees like the sweat and the planning. They just show you the end result and then you think like, oh, that looks so easy, but it's not. Like this is 45 minutes, but I trust me when I tell you, like sometimes I plan a project for one full day before I ever build it. Like there's been times where I've chatted with Claude for, I think, 100 turns before we started building anything. And the more time you spend here on the cleaning part, the less time you will spend later on cleaning your mistakes. So you choose your pain. It's up to you. I choose this one. All right, we have a final plan from Claude. Perfect. Looking good. Now Claude understands the clean framework, which is really good. Yeah, looks fine, looks fine, looks fine. Perfect. Yes, you've understood the assignment. Now give me your step-by-step execution plan. Good. It's backing up the file. That's good. Then it's going to create a clean file. Excellent. Flag.csv for records that it could not clean. And finally, an audit.md file that says every issue and whether it's resolved or not. So first step, it will duplicate stuff. Discard unenrichable people. That's good. Clean the names. Oh, this is not good. No. I don't want to clean the names first. I want to clean the LinkedIn URLs first. This is the most important thing for me. As we've talked about this before. Before we clean the names, I want the LinkedIn URLs to be clean because this is the most important part of the data. So I will just give it feedback on that. Normalize LinkedIn URLs. Collapse to one row per person. Good. Build the derived columns. Perfect. Final assembly and write the audit report with the note and verification pass. Perfect. This is good. Just so everything looks good except for there's just I will change the order. You need to so step 1 is good. Please swap step number 2 with 3. So I want you to normalize the LinkedIn URLs first and then move on to cleaning the names. and you now have permission to start cleaning. Whew, that's it. Now we're done. This will probably take quite a while, so excellent. All right, y'all. Claude is now building away, and now I'm happy because this was the most important part for me, to know exactly what's going to get done, rather than come in and say, hey, clean this, and then figure, like, just leave Claude alone, it works, and then I go back and I open up clean.csv and I see that it did everything wrong, and then I spend some time yelling at Claude like, hey, you messed up and blah 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 blah. I don't want to do that. Now I know. um, Now I know that it's going to be doing exactly what I want it to do. So this is good. let let's let Claude work. Now, in the meanwhile, you're here. Let's let's open it up. Like, if someone has questions or comments, I'm happy to.
Yeah, I have one question, Tanay.
Yes,
Like,
Faiz.
if I want to train Claude on specific skills, like you train Claude on data cleaning framework by YouTube video. So in
Mhm.
that case, I need to get the transcript of the video from the YouTube, and then I need to enhance that, and then I need to convert that into MD file, and then I need to upload that. Is this is the right way, or how I need to do it?
Yeah, Faiz, I like your approach. So that's almost exactly what I did. So here's what I did. I had the video over here. I'll show you while Claude is working away. So this was the video. I took this over here. I went to, I think I just typed like YouTube transcript, and I just went here, pasted that in, took the transcript here, and then I said to Claude, like, teach me this video. And then from there, it went and it generated this framework for me. So if you're totally right, I don't think like, hmm, if I was teaching Claude this skill, Faiz, I would probably say to Claude, hang on, let me think about this a little bit more. The reason why, Faiz, like, I don't like teaching Claude generic skills. Like, this is my opinion. I don't want to teach it something that is generic. I think the real value of skills comes down to teaching Claude something that is unique to you or your business. Otherwise, for me, the skill is kind of like not valuable, right? So I would not create a skill for the clean framework. I would just copy and paste the YouTube transcript and say like, hey, obey this framework. But Faiz, to answer your question, when I'm done with this data export, from here, what you see is like I've been spending 40 minutes teaching Claude my preferences, right? Now I have something over here that is so valuable for me, myself, and my business. So what I can do from here, Faiz, is when all of this is done and this project is complete, I can take this entire transcript, like I can literally copy and paste this whole conversation into Claude and say like, hey, um, I just cleaned up a file for my business, and I would like you to go and understand like the philosophy of how we cleaned it, what was the approach that we took, what was the clean framework, and then I want you to go and formalize that into a skill that I can call again and again for every single project in the future moving forward. So Faiz, what happens then is, let's say I have a skill called um, slash cleanup. I create the skill. Next time the operations team gives me a CSV like this over here, like let's say tomorrow I get another dump of people coming in, I can just put the CSV file and then type slash clean. So instead of like all of this back and forth, like, hey, the LinkedIn URLs need cleaning. Oh, I don't want this. I don't want that. It already knows. It already knows. And from there, it literally goes and cleans everything up. That is a valuable skill for me.
100% I
Long,
agree.
Okay. Any questions about
because
that? Yeah,
I
sorry.
think
Go ahead.
the skills we are teaching Claude, it's based on the output quality we are generating by spending 45 minutes in the planning mode. So definitely,
Exactly.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why it's weird. It's kind of controversial when people say that oh, Tanay, there was like I saw this marketplace where they're selling skills for like $5 for a skill for CRM or like $5 for a GTM engineering skill. And I'm like, no, don't pay for skills. There's no skill worth paying for. Like the real value of skills comes from teaching Claude Code something that's important to you. That's a skill that you should be building by yourself. So don't pay for skills, make them yourself. So yeah. Any other questions? Or Faiz, any follow-up questions?
No, I think I'm good. I was actually about to ask, like, I also seen a lot of marketplaces where they are selling skills for Claude, but yeah, got it.
Yeah. Don't buy them. If you're curious, what you can do is like you can just snapshot that page and say, hey, Claude, someone is selling this skill for $30. Can we try and reverse engineer this so that we can build it ourselves for free? And you would be shocked at how far you get.
Absolutely.
Questions from anyone else before we see what has Claude done for us? All right, cool. So I'm going to check Claude's report now. So it says it's all done. It dropped 36 people, 364 clean records, flagged for review. We'll check that in a second. And then I see some files like it. We just started with like one file over here. And now we have a raw backup. Let me just make sure that this is good. Raw backup. This should have 364 rows. 643, sorry. Um, 643. So this is good. Flag.csv, cleaning audit.md. I want to read the cleaning audit. Let's read it. Excellent. So step one, discarded the LinkedIn. That's perfect. Step two, normalize the LinkedIns. Step three, clean the name. Step four, consolidated everyone into one row per person. That's perfect. Augmentation with building the notes column and future dated visits left alone, outputs written, flag breakdown, and verification pass. Cool, let's see our final clean file. Look at that. Excellent. All of the, yeah, the URLs are normalized, no more dropped URLs. Everyone's name looks fine now. And the most important thing that I want to see, that's it. This is what I wanted to see. So for, let's see, where was that guy that we were checking? Was his name Tyler? I forgot his name. I think it was Tyler. It was Acosta something. Let's see. Yeah, Tyler Acosta. So for Tyler, it consolidated him and then said, yeah. So he went to the website 4 times, and now we have a timestamp column for all of his visits. So contact, blog, features, and security best practices. So that tells me already like he is interested. And I think the sales team can now take a look at this and say, hey, Tyler, I saw that you were looking for security best practices. Tell us what are some of the security things that you're struggling with. So that becomes like the sales conversation. And this is going to be a higher close rate for this account. I'm very, very happy with this. And I also want to check the flag.csv. So why was this flagged? Any reason? Flag reasons, non-Latin name. Okay. Name decontaminated. I don't know what that means. I have to ask Claude though. Oh, decontaminated means like basically it's just normalized. I think it's just trying to say name decontaminated. It's interesting. Okay, good, good. But I noticed that these people are still in the original file though. Just just to be safe, I would like you to remove all of the people that you've put in the flagged CSV file, remove them from the clean file. We just want to be precautious, and later I can import them manually if I need to. Right? I mean, hopefully that makes sense, right, to everyone, because there are some flag contacts over here which Claude was not certain about. So I don't want to import them. Like if they have been flagged by Claude, I don't want to import them. So later I can see like what's going on and then import them manually if I have to. So again, we caught something that Claude would not have caught by itself. So it's so important to check every single part of this process. And now we are updating the cleaning audit. We removed all of the people from the flagged rows to not show up as the import. And now finally we are done. There we go. So from messy CSV to clean CSV in 45 minutes of planning, maybe 5 minutes of execution, but that's the beauty of like spending time there so that now we have a degree of certainty. So from here, I can take this clean CSV file and I can import this into Clay. Um, Sorry about that. Import from CSV. Let's get this done. Almost at the finishing line now. And cleaned. All right. And then from here, waterfall. Let's do. It's been a while since I logged into Clay. Sorry about that.
I have one question here, Tanay. Like,
Yes.
just like you just mentioned, like it's a lot of days you log into Clay. So, are you seeing like people are replacing Clay with Claude?
People, yeah, I mean, they are. Not everyone. Fez, like, sorry, I want to be really clear. Not everyone is replacing Clay with Claude. It is a very particular demographic. So first of all, Clay, like, not a lot of people realize that Clay actually has a huge enterprise and large company base. Um, they are not going to. Sorry, I'm trying to work and talk at the same time, which is usually like it doesn't work. Sorry, I'm horrible at like talking and working. So just give me 1 second and I will just take care of it. I'm just trying to combine their first name and last name into like a single column. Right. So Clay has a huge part of their customer base, which are large companies. So like medium to large companies that have a bunch of employees. They already have like, they've already got set up everything inside of Clay and they have like, 50, 100 employees, even more, thousands of employees. these organizations are risk averse. Like they're not going to be replacing Clay with vibe coded tools. But the big shift that I've been seeing is that there are people who are especially like solopreneurs, solo builders like me, people who are seeking jobs like becoming GTM engineers, who want a job as a GTME or want a better job as a GTME. It doesn't make sense to be like paying Clay like $400 a month, like if you want access to API features and really simple stuff like that. So instead of that, they're just building their own tech stack now. They are just using a combination of Claude Code, a couple of data providers, and for them, they can do all the work that they could previously do in Clay. And the second demographic that is actively replacing Clay is the big Clay agencies, like the big GTM engineering agencies that are doing a lot of client work. So they're doing like millions of emails per month or whatever, like hundreds of thousands of emails per month, and then they're really like paying a lot of money for Clay for Clay actions and credits. So they just build their own systems now using Cloud Code.
Yeah, actually,
Hope
I
that
saw the
answers
video
your
of Tyler.
questions.
Yeah, Tyler, Harren, Eric, now like majorly working on cloud side.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, three demographics. First one, enterprise, not moving off Clay. Solo builders, some of them moving definitely off Clay, and GTM agencies, a big percentage of them moving off Clay. Not big, I don't know what the exact numbers are, but a significant percentage of them moving off Clay. I need to make sure that this is a fake table, so I need to make sure that we stop this, confirm and stop. These are not real people. I have to remind myself, like, why am I enriching fake people? This is what happens when I try to talk and work at the same time. Stop. And also, it's been such a long time since I worked in Clay. Cool. All right, y'all. So finally, this is not going to work for anyone, but because these are fake people. But from here, now everyone has a first name, last name. So all Clay needs, or any other enrichment provider, whether it's DeepLine or Blitz API, all they need to get the emails and phone numbers of people is first name, last names, their LinkedIn URLs, and the company that they work for. We have it all. Thanks to Claude, thanks to our clean data, we have all of this over here. We're going to get the work email and then simply go and export this and import directly into HubSpot over here and map the columns. And that's it. Job done. Sales team is happy, and we got a promotion, hopefully, in our jobs. So, yeah, that is the project for today. Maybe I stop share, maybe a couple of questions and some feedback. Some feedback also would be nice, like how does this feel? More of what, less of what? Tell me everything because I'm not planning on stopping. So please help me improve this.
I thought that was amazing. That was really cool. Thank you. I mean, we do a lot of trade shows, webinars, so we get lots of these lists. And I think we've been focusing on maybe enriching a column at a time. So, asking Claude, enrich this column, it goes and does it, then enrich this, and then it crashes. It's and start all over again. But I mean, that was brilliant. The clean thing, great. Yeah, love it.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me. Yeah. And please, like, let me know if I can always like make any improvements to the pacing or anything else.
The one thing on the this list, so we've got our website data hooked up to a Clay table for website visitors. So when they come in, so the bit I'm now looking at is I can identify them if they're a lead in Salesforce or if they're an account or if there's an opportunity. So it's then trying to then create different tables to then take them on a different journey. So for a lead, my next job is to say, okay, is it in Salesforce?
Mm.
Is it in the Cadence? Do I then send a Slack notification? And then another table for, it's not in Salesforce. Is it in our ICP? Send the Slack. So it's just constantly building them out, isn't it?
Yeah. I think like if it was me and
Mm.
if I had to do it through Claude Code, I would of course like first clean. So clean
Yeah.
file comes in first. Then I guess there's a API call or MCP connection to your CRM. Hey, figure out like whether this contact exists or not based on name, first name, last name, email, or company that they work for. So do like a fuzzy match first. Split off the CSV, like make sure you add like a column inside the CSV saying like, okay, new or already exists or anything else that's important or like active opportunity being worked on. And then from there, you take different actions based on the value of the column. That's it. So you treat it almost like a workflow. That's what I would do. But I'm
Yeah.
sure like there are other philosophical approaches to this.
No, that sounds a lot simpler actually to just do it. Yeah. Thank you.
Of course, you're so welcome. Any questions, y'all, before we end the stream?
Hi, Tane.
Hey, who's that speaking? Is that Mansoor or sorry?
Yeah,
Hey, Mansoor.
it's Mansoor.
Hey,
I'm a bootcamp student.
nice.
So I
Welcome.
was just scrolling down Substack and I found out that today is the shift session, and it's really interesting. And the worst part is, honestly, I just joined and missed all of the fun part of this call. Can you hear me?
I can perfectly hear you. And don't worry about missing anything, Mansoor. It's on YouTube. Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much for that. And the one thing that caught my attention was I actually have built almost exact same system, and the enrichment part and the dedupe part was the most trickiest one because so if you don't mind, I just want to share what I've actually built with Claude Code. I've built like a couple of agents, 4 or 5 agents that read this basically a CSV export from any of the CRMs, and then analyze the CSV file and dedupe, enrich, clean, do the fuzzy match, all the stuff. If 4 or 5 agents perform these tasks. Um, it's interactive, human interactive. That the system talks to the user, asks the user about what they want to do, how they want to do, because I've defined the fields and whatnot, and it's dynamic, and it's the things are hanging around with a harness and a dynamic meta harness.
Hmm.
So which with each interaction, the system learns more and more about it.
Hmm.
Last night, I just, um, I ran a test on Quinn 332B, I think. So the enrichment part was the most trickiest one, and I think
Hmm.
I missed. That was the crux of this call, I think, and I missed it. I just wanted to ask is, with all this context, enrichment before dedupe is good
No,
or enrichment after dedupe is good?
after,
Because
always after.
of
Yeah, because you don't want to be spending credits on duplicate data. There's not a lot of like providers are they are unforgiving, Mansoor. Like you put two requests
course,
for deduping, like sorry, enriching the same person, they will charge you double.
of course.
Yeah.
But what if I'm missing if I miss on some important data while deduping? Because the most I think the most important field that I would say for deduping would be an email and then a
Yes.
company domain and then um, a LinkedIn URL.
Yeah. Not the company domain though, right, Mansoor? Because
Yeah.
these are
So,
people, so they can have multiple. I mean, there could be several employees in the same company.
okay. So, without enriching, for example, if Tane has moved from XYZ, company to ABC company, so I must have two contacts of Tane, two different emails. How would I know that Tane has moved on or is in the same role? Because that's another hole, a rabbit hole in itself. Um,
Yeah,
so so basically, I'm trying to contest the theory of enriching before dedupe so that we do not lose
yeah,
the data,
yeah,
important one,
yeah,
actually, because this is coming from a CRM,
yeah,
which needs update and eventually is going to be optimizing the revenue of the client and going back into the same CRM.
yeah. Really
I
good
hope
question,
I'm
Mansoor.
not
Yeah.
getting it.
Yeah, no, no, it's all good. But thankfully, like Mansoor, you don't have to reinvent the wheel over here. So this is a hard problem. So CRM deduplication and uh, like in general, like deduplication is a hard problem. And I'm very happy to say that it has been solved. Like there have been very smart people who have figured out how to solve it. So there's usually a waterfall that you run. I don't have it handy right now, but there are levels of deduplication inside of CRM. So the first one is like you're matching them on email. Okay, what if you don't have the email? Then
Mhm.
you match on name, first name, last name, then the company. Then so there's almost like 5 passes that you make to figure out and flag like, hey, this could be potentially duplicates, and just know that all of your potential duplicates, you take them out of the file, you put them into another different file called potential duplicates with a reason for why do you think that they are duplicates. Claude is very good at this, Mansoor. It will help you. So your job is to do a fuzzy match and completely separate the people who are likely duplicates. So for your likely duplicates of CSV, isolate them, segment them out, and then enrich the rest of your clean file, and then go back and put like a manual, like a human eye over the ones that Claude has flagged as the potential duplicates. And it won't be that many. It won't be a lot, but they're worth doing so that you can see like, oh, okay, this is obviously like the same person in different roles, or oh, these are two separate people, even though they share the exact same name. All of that, we still need a human in the loop. Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
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 I'll
That's
try to
why,
find that framework. Yeah.
yes, of course. And I've, implemented that framework because, um, um, if you may, I can connect with you after this call
Yeah,
and
sure.
give you a small document or a demo what it
Sure.
actually does. So it has like 5 gates and different and at each gate, the system asks questions to the users and it's interactive and dynamic, learns on its own again and again, back and forth.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for this, and
Connect.
I'll
Yeah.
go back on the and watch the whole session on the YouTube.
Sounds good.
Thank
And
you.
thank you so much for hopping on. Just watch the recording and please feel free to connect with me. But for the
Sure,
rest,
sure.
I know y'all, we are like 15 minutes over, but I really appreciate you tuning in. Um, Yeah, the next one is going to be we are going to do lead scoring. So if that's important to you or like useful for you, please show up. I want to do one more this week. But just remember, again, the most important thing here, thinking like systems engineers, we don't need computer science degrees anymore. So Claude is a better data analyst than me. So we are bringing the business understanding here. We're letting Claude execute our vision. So we'll do the exact same thing in every single flow. And keep your thinking focused on high level systems. And if you do that, I promise you'll be fine. And we are going to build some cool stuff together. Thanks for tuning in today. And I'll see you on the next stream.
Thanks.